Member for Melton.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. It's my great honour to rise today to speak to the Take Note motion. 2020 was a surprise to us all. Not since 100 years ago has this state had to deal with such a pandemic and its economic consequences. As well as the pandemic, our regions have had the devastation from the bushfires last year. The economic climate for Victoria, Australia and the rest of the world is of course precarious but rebounding. It is important that our state stands up and meets this challenge head on, and I'm so proud of the Treasurer and the Andrews Labor government have done exactly that with this last budget. I congratulate the Treasurer on the hard work he and his staff have done in keeping Victoria in the best economic situation possible in such difficult times. It is a credit to his hard work not just in delivering this budget, but the leadership shown through lockdowns and uncertainty. All of us here in this House are aware many of our constituents and businesses in our electorates were in contact with us all as the uncertainty of our economic situation started to develop. The Treasurer and the Andrews Labor government have at every step stood up and supported Victorians and businesses right throughout this challenging last 12 months. Our communities have all understood the need for a strong health system. Our medical staff right across this state have put in an heroic effort. Nurses, doctors, paramedics, cleaners, all healthcare workers have done an amazing job and had our backs. It is really important for healthcare workers to know that their government has their backs too. The budget has an amazing investment in healthcare, and I think we can all agree if there is ever a time to see exactly why it's important to invest in healthcare, then now is that time. Our hospitals have been on the front line of our response to the pandemic. This budget helps keep them strong. My constituents were over the moon to know that the Andrews Labor government in the budget is supporting the needs of Melton and the West with the $75 million to purchase land and undertake detailed planning and early works for a new hospital in Melton. The next step is delivering the hospital that our growing suburb needs. This is of course following on from the $2.4 million that was already promised prior to the 2018 election and delivered in the 2019-2020 budget. Since then, planning of a new hospital has been underway. My electorate has seen these funding commitments from multiple budgets that have seen the construction occurring from the VHH SBA, and they have heard the Minister for Health announcing that the new hospital will be operated by Western Health.
There's too much audible conversation in the chamber. I'm having trouble hearing the member for Melton.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Yeah, that's right. My electorate is excited knowing that this vital infrastructure for the West is being delivered. They know that it's an Andrews Labor government that is delivering for them. The budget also delivers the single biggest investment ever in our schools, making sure students have the classrooms, the libraries and the learning spaces they deserve. In Melton, this includes Exford Primary School, with students to benefit from a $25.3 million investment to deliver the remaining stages of the school's master plan. This is in addition to the $6 million allocated at the previous budget. When I visited Exford Primary School and met with the principal, Lisa Campo, and her amazing team to deliver the fantastic news, they were over the moon excited. This investment in Exford and Melton will help rebuild Exford Primary School into what will effectively be a brand new school. Families in Exford have done a phenomenal job in supporting students to learn from home last year. We want to make facilities at Exford Primary School better than ever before. And for those in Exford and the new housing estates close by, this investment will have an amazing impact. It also relieves pressure on other primary schools in the area and will help reduce traffic congestion in other parts of our electorate. Of course, many families in Amesbury send their children to the Exford Primary School. They know of the Andrews Labor government's commitment to the Melton electorate as they look forward to the brand new Amesbury Primary School and Early Learning Centre opening their doors this year. In fact, I'm going out to visit Amesbury Primary School tomorrow and we'll be very excited to hand out some prep bags. This government invests in education, and in my electorate is seeing this investment. This also includes $9.7 million to upgrade the Melton Specialist School, supporting students by rebuilding the junior building. I headed out there in December to talk to Brooke Bridie, the principal, and met some amazing student leaders along with many of the amazing staff. The whole school is buzzing with this investment, especially at Melton while it continues to grow. This budget is delivering the biggest investment in inclusive education in our state's history. The budget helps all Victorians as we recover, and we want our state to come back stronger than ever, and we are already starting to see that. The government's investment will also support local jobs with our school infrastructure build, expected to create more than 6,400 jobs across the state. A further $1.6 billion will transform support for students with disability, doubling the number of students receiving extra support to 55,000 and creating up to 1,730 jobs across the state by 2025. This budget recognises that we our infrastructure needs to grow too. That's why, as part of $12 million package funding, we'll revitalise the centre of Melton, delivering great local spaces and supporting local jobs. Melton has already started to see investment in revitalisation of our community. We're also extending our Growing Suburbs Fund on top of the $25 million boost earlier last year. And an additional $50 million will help build new local facilities, from playgrounds to sporting pavilions and community facilities. I've been advocating for some time to extend this amazing investment into peri-urban councils, and the Growth Suburbs Fund has delivered huge investment in Melton LGA, and the GSF delivering infrastructure and local facilities has really helped show the Melton community that this government delivers for them. And now the Moorabool Council, along with other peri-urban councils.
I ask the member to resume his seat.